Dr. Mick is in the house. Mickey with CarryTrainer.com. We talk a lot about maintenance and good practices, and I have got a dirty carbine here. This Radian Weapons I've had for years is filthy. And I've got a trick. This is an old school trick that I picked up from a lovely man named Alois Hastreiter. Alois was Kanan, who you guys know from Gunfighter Oil, his great-grandpa. And when I was a young man, I got to work with him. My sister married Alois's grandson, which is Kanan's dad. And he was a fantastic old world German cabinet maker. We just lost him a few years ago, nearly 100 years old. We're going to use some mineral spirits. So oftentimes mineral spirits, lacquer thinner, paint thinner, those types of things are used in painting, some woodworking, auto body, things like that. But we're going to use mineral spirits to clean the bolt on this gun. A couple things, I'm going to pull the bolt out of the gun as I talk to you. A couple of things super important. One, of course, firearm safety 101 stuff here, guys. Make sure the gun's cleared out. Make sure you're pointing in a safe direction. All of those things. But definitely get some PPE. Gunfighter Gun Oil, we have products that are all very safe, and I want that because I don't want to expose myself to more nasty stuff. The years I spent in the trades, I did hardwood flooring installations, refinishing, finishing for years, as well as other types of construction, and we'd use spirits, lacquer thinner, acetone, things like that for different finishes a lot. Some of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, and this stuff's poison. So I'm going to use gloves. I'm also going to throw glasses on here in a minute. Check out this bolt. Can you guys see that? This thing is nasty. So I'm gonna pull it apart. Oh my gosh, it's so dirty. I'm gonna just show you really quick. I'm gonna grab a napkin here. This thing is just filth. I feel horrible. But one of the reasons that I love our grease is all of this filth. This has several thousand rounds from a couple classes through it. Everything comes off onto the rag because the grease catches it. So that's beautiful. But we're still going to do a deep dive clean on this thing. So a couple safety precautions using paint thinner or mineral spirits. First of all, I'm going to use mineral spirits. It's a little bit more refined than paint thinner. A little less noxious, a little less toxic. It's petroleum distillates, and it costs a little bit more. You could use either. I like the results from this. It evaporates a little slower than paint thinner. God dang, that's filthy. If I'm going to do this, I glove up. Grab yourself a jar. Eye and ear protection. I don't need ear protection. I'm like doing my range speak. But back to the safety stuff. This stuff is flammable. Kind of smells like kerosene or camp oil. If you're going to do this, you can label up this jar and keep this on hand. So Alois that I told you about, he'd have jars like this, and he'd keep sharpening stones soaking in here, and maybe a file or a chisel or something like that he was working on. If it got any kind of surface rust on there, he just let her soak overnight in the spirits, and it would immediately loosen up the filth. It would also create a protective boundary layer of protection. Safety. When we're done with this, I do not want to take these rags that are going to be soaked with this and throw them in the garbage. This is not a made-up thing. My uncle's house almost burnt to the ground during construction because a painter, using this, took those rags and threw them in a bucket and left the bucket on the second floor of the house. Spontaneous combustion can happen as this and other such spirits evaporate. It creates heat, and it happens a lot. I know floor finishers whose vans have burned to the ground in the nighttime because they've left stuff like this on rags. But here's what I want you to see. The cleaning power of this kind of stuff is awesome. Why don't I use it, and why do I opt to use the products that we sell? Because it's way less toxic. I'm really, especially at the age I'm at, the amount of time I've spent using these types of solvents, I just don't want them around. But I wanted to show you guys because some of you guys, you don't think the way I do, and that's cool. I want you to be able to have some options and be able to get the results that you're looking for. Some guys will use brake cleaner, and it's a really heavy solvent. The one thing I don't like about brake cleaner, in a pinch, sure, man, I'm going to use brake cleaner. But the one thing I don't like about it, it's a spray. So you're just launching a lot of that product onto the ground. Spray paint, spray cleaners, things like that. A lot of that material just is getting sprayed into the air as well. They're way more expensive. So if money is at all a factor, you're going to save a ton just buying something like this. I mean, you can see what came off of the bolt with barely any scrubbing. I'm not really even getting down to the nitty gritty. But this stuff is great. It's something out in your workshop. I'm in the workspace here. I'm not in the eating area. I'm not in any kind of a spot like where kids or anything are going to be. Remember, flammable stuff. So once we're done with these rags, either soak them in water or lay them out to evaporate. What I do, we're on a kind of a farm situation. I'm going to throw all this stuff in a cardboard box that I have here. I'm going to walk it out to the burn pile and just torch it. And then it's gone and it's controlled and I'm not going to hurt anybody or anything. But food for thought, mineral spirits is a very easy way to degrease and get a firearm cleaned up in a jiff. I don't love being exposed to more toxic stuff. But again, some of you guys, dudes working in garages all day, you just don't give a rip. So do you. I thought I'd show you. After you're done, I highly recommend lubing up the firearm with gunfighter gun oil. Gunfighter gun oil grease. Grease and oil are very similar. A grease is oil with a product that the oil is suspended in. I love grease for bolt carriers, things like that. I use them on my revolvers. You can interchange them. Part of how to use one or the other is really, for firearms especially, a personal preference. Some guys swear by one or the other. These products are non-toxic, made in the USA, and non-biodegradable. They are not biodegradable, which is on purpose. Why? Because I don't want that lube to break down in the gun safe and you find out that your gun's all gummed up and gooped up. Be well. Don't be dickheads. Tell somebody that you love them. Make the time to hang out with the people that you love. Make the time to call your kids, text your mom, call your dad, go see a concert, visit with the people that you care about. Because you know what? We are only here but for a little while. Love you guys. I appreciate you taking the time to bullshit with me a little bit here as I'm cleaning up my gear and supporting the channel. If you guys haven't checked out Ignis Lux coffee, that is something that we roast ourselves with love. Ignis Lux is Latin for firelight. Firelight, it denotes the fire that burns in all of our guts. When I came up with that name, it made me think of our founders talking about the firestorm, the brush fires that our founders were creating, running around the countryside, starting these fires in the hearts and minds of men to raise up arms against the crown. Talk to you guys soon. Mineral spirits, well-ventilated area. Peace out. Man, that is so smooth and nice. I forgot to tell you during the video, solvents like mineral spirits can ruin finishes, ruin paint, wreck plastic, leather, cloth, things like that. That's why you saw me using it on the tool steel, the bolt carrier.